Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Captain Ryan. Today's video has got me back playing in my favorite destroyer of all time. Yes, that's right, I'm back in the Fletcher here in World of Warships. As the battle gets underway, it's Shatter, it's Domination Match Mode, and my team has started out with the Destroyer advantage. Specifically, my team has 2 Fletchers, and we have 2 additional destroyers, one tier 8 and one tier 7. The enemy team has 2 tier 9 ships as well, but they have an Udaloy and a Yugamo. A Yugamo versus a Fletcher is not going to win that fight, and the Udaloy can be seen at such a great distance that a Fletcher, like myself, can see him coming and basically just avoid him. They also have a Sims on the enemy team. Now as I push up into the C cap point, I'm not alone. I have the second Fletcher with me here, and you'll notice that the C cap point is not being captured. In fact, there's a little bit of sliver of red right there that tells me that the enemy team has got a destroyer up here. I'm not sure yet which destroyer it is, and that's when the enemy Udaloy pops up. Now I get a set of torpedoes off of the battleship in the distance based on the fact that he's headed this direction, and a set of torpedoes off towards the headland of that island based on the Udaloy's possibility of just basically using it for cover. And that's when the enemy Sims pops up. Now, Sims did not edge far enough forward past that headland of the island in order to get clipped by one of my torpedoes. In fact, he probably was just sitting right behind there, saw me pop up, and then immediately slammed on the brakes and avoided those shots. However, he is in a bad situation because he still has another Fletcher that's up here. As I push back behind the island, now, I'm not going to stick around here at the C cap point because there are not 1 but 2 destroyers over here, and they do have torpedoes. The Sims torpedoes may be slow or incredibly short range, depending on which ones you pick, but they can still definitely cause some significant problems. Plus, there was at least 1 cruiser that popped up over here. Speaking of cruisers, neither team has a specific radar advantage. Both teams have radar cruisers, and I think both teams have a radar battleship in the form of the Missouri. So neither team is going to have an advantage with radar. Now the enemy team has managed to secure a first blood. Specifically, they've managed to take out one of our destroyers. This is unfortunate for my team, but it doesn't mean that the enemy team has gained a destroyer advantage. However, it does mean that we are down 1 ship. Looking at the situation, my team has managed to secure the A cap point, but the enemy team has also managed to challenge it, as they are attempting to capture it from us. My team is at the very least contesting C, but there's nobody over at B. And if we look at the minimap, both teams very much so have half their team at A and half their team at C. So I'm going to go ahead and head towards the B cap point. If I run into the enemy Yugamo, which you can see up there in front of me, I could probably pretty easily take him. So since I can see that destroyer up there, and I know the other 2 are back behind me at C, I'm not concerned about running into anybody. But that's when the enemy North Carolina pops up here, and you can see him coming up this channel. Well, that's a serious problem for me. He may just be a battleship, but he can cause me some significant damage if he's firing high explosive or even armor piercing. So I'm going to try and push up and use this island for cover, maybe lay an ambush, but he gets around that island faster than I was expecting him to. And he's got his guns already pointed my direction. Now he manages to hit me, and that shot did penetrate, and you can really see how much damage it was done there. It's almost like this destroyer had a citadel. But I managed to dodge the remaining 5 shots from his forward battery, and his rear gun turret is facing the wrong direction, so he can't get those shots out. Now, I'm basically closing in on him because I know I've got 30 seconds before he'll have the ability to shoot at me. And I'm going to cross over the other side of him, so he has to track his guns, which won't be able to keep up. Fire off a first set. The first set was enough to do it, but I've been burned before by having battleships have just that little extra amount of health, so I fire off the second set just in case 1 torpedo missed or it wasn't quite enough to kill him. However, first set was absolutely enough to kill him, and I finished him off, earning myself a first kill in this game, and a nice whopping amount of damage as a result of just basically taking a full-strength battleship down to nothing. Now, my team is in the lead. I say we're in the lead only because we have the A cap point. The enemy team has been driven out from it, so we're gaining points from it. But we're also capping the B cap point and not being contested here. And I'm using this island for cover, keeping it between me and the 2 radar ships that I know are back there. There's a Baltimore back there, and there's a Missouri back there. If both of them decided they wanted to use their radar against me, it wouldn't do them any good. As you can see, I have an island between me and them, so they can't shoot me anyway. Managed to secure the B cap point all on my own here. Gonna go ahead, push up, run the risk of a possibility of radar, but I'm keeping that island between me and that Missouri. If he does decide he's gonna shoot at me, I can just back up into the cover of that island. I fire off one set of torpedoes, and that's when the Baltimore pops up. And the Baltimore, you can see here, is actually moving the other direction. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to back up here. I'm actually targeting him. This is a bit of a replay bug, and I'm waiting for him to come around that island, and I'm going to put a set of torpedoes out there. I don't know what his plans are coming around that island, so I'm just going to kind of skirt my torpedoes on a narrow spread just past that island. If he comes out broadside, I'm going to hit him. If he comes out and decides to turn in, I'm still going to hit him. But given that he's pushing that way, and the Missouri's pushing the other way, I don't really want to continue sitting in the B cap point. My team has managed to secure the C cap point at this point, and now we're really up on points, as the enemy team, other than killing ships on my team, has been unable to gain any additional points. And really, the fact that they're able to kill any of our ships at all is the only reason that they're still in the game. Managed to connect a torpedo on that Baltimore as he came around. Like I said, I only managed to connect one here. That tells me he's turned in and is heading towards the B cap point. Enemy Yugamo off in the distance. Fairly low health there. As I fire off shots, I am detected. That's radar from the Baltimore. At least I'm pretty sure it's from the Baltimore. It could be from the Missouri, but I don't know why he would be using his radar, considering, as far as he's concerned, all of the ships he can see are in front of him. But I am detected, and I'm detected as I'm pushing around this island, and I'm going to remain detected as I'm pushing around this island. I have a set of torpedoes up again. In fact, I think I have both sets of torpedoes up again as I push around here. And this Missouri, as you can see, he knows I'm here, and his guns are already pointing at me. He is waiting for me, and he manages to hit me and penetrate again. My non-existent citadel. I feel so violated. Both sets dumped into the water. I'm turning away hard. I've got my engine boost active. He hits me again right into the back of my ship. But look, he's taken a big hit. He's very low health. I managed to hit him with a shot and set him on fire and secure my second kill in this game. That kind of makes me happy. At this point, my team actually has an advantage in the form of destroyers. Both of my team's Tier 9 Fletchers, me included, are still alive. The enemy team only has one destroyer left, and while it is a fairly sneaky Japanese destroyer, the Yugamo, he's got about as much health as I do. And in any engagement between a Fletcher and a Yugamo, even if the Yugamo had double my health, I would give the engagement over to me just based on rate of fire and the accuracy of my guns, as we will see when I actually do end up engaging him. Now, the enemy team is capturing B. And right now, it looks like they are going to take it because there's nobody in a position to contest it. I am left in a position where I don't really want to head back over to B because it's a Baltimore over there, and I don't need to be dealing with his guns. Simultaneously, I've got a couple of ships over here that are now putting pressure on the A cap point. With the exception of the fact that my team has managed to hold on to all 3 cap points for a period of time in this game, the enemy team and my team are fairly equal on number of ships and ships lost. I'm getting a set of torpedoes out at this Miyoko here, trying hopefully to hit him and sink him. I only need to hit him with like 1 or 2 to finish him off, but he is maneuvering, and it looks like that first set did miss him, and the second set here, as he maneuvers again, is going to miss him as well, as he pushes up into the A cap point and starts putting pressure on it. But I have my smoke screen yet available again, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get shots off at him. Hopefully I can connect with him before he disappears again and reset the cap there. Come on, get shots out there. I do manage to hit him. He's dropped off detectability because I was the one detecting him, but I did reset the cap with those shots, and more shots coming in there from friendly ships while he was still detected. Now, I see a lot of destroyer players will do this. They'll sit in their smoke screen even though nothing's detected. It doesn't do you or your team any good to stay there. So instead, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to push out of my smoke screen, and I'm going to continue to spot these guys in the A cap point. But I'm not going to open fire with my guns. I'm going to choose to not do any damage, and instead simply spot. Now, I'm going to keep this island between me and these cruisers, and I'm going to do that because the Baltimore has come out of B and is headed towards A. A little too far from the island here, I am detected by that Baltimore, but he's busy with other things. His secondary's kind of coming in there. Fired off a set of torpedoes at the Miyoko based on the fact that he might turn, and as you can see there, it does look like he did in fact turn, and he did meet his end 2 torpedoes. That's when the Yugamo pops up there, very low health here. Managed to connect with him. Come on, get shots out there. Get me a double strike. Let's do this. Oh no, he's maneuvering hard. He is no fool. He's trying to open up the distance here. But as long as he and I are both shooting at each other, we're going to be detected. However, he pops a smoke screen, and that means neither of us are going to see each other. And unfortunately, didn't get a double strike there. Kind of disappointed. But I am on 3 kills and 100,000 damage. At this point, my team is now in the lead positively, as we have 2 of the 3 cap points, and the enemy team has no cap points, and they're down to 4 ships. I don't have a lot of health left here, but I am at the very least in a position in a sneaky destroyer where I can continue to torpedo enemy ships. And as we saw, that Yugamo also very low health. If he's a smart player, he will get just close enough to detect me, but will keep his distance just barely outside of that. Fire off a set of torpedoes down the channel towards that KGV and start looking to get into position to maybe torp the Iowa or that KGV, and I'm detected again, and that tells me it's the Yugamo, and there he is. And I get my guns pointed where I know which side he was last on, finish him off. He gets shots out, but look how far behind me those shots landed. I think he might have had a leg spike there. I feel bad for him. Managed to connect with the KGV with the torpedo there, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up at him. I feel confident in opening up at him because the Iowa is behind an island, and he's preoccupied shooting at other things. And as you see here, he is turning, and he's turning himself broadside towards me, and that scares me because his guns are pointed this direction. But he's maneuvering hard, and he's still not paying attention to the fact that there's a low health destroyer here. That gives me enough time to get my smoke screen out, and now I can just sit here and wail on him with guns, try to set him on fire, possibly secure a 5th kill. I am on 4. It would be nice to get a Kraken unleashed. My torpedoes look good. I mean, oh, look at that. He turned broadside into them now, and at this point, he's turned broadside at a perfect timing. I only need to hit him with 1, finish him off, earning myself a Kraken unleashed in that game. 124,000 damage done, 5 kills, earned myself a solo base capture, a couple of fires, and some base defender ribbons. All in all, a fairly good game, and kind of makes me happy to have a game like this because this game occurred right in the middle of that terrible, terrible slump of bad teams that I was having. Surprisingly enough, both of the Tier 9 destroyers on my team survived, including myself. And hey, look at that. We were number 1 and number 2 on the team. Number 1 on the team earned with XP just over 2,000 base. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, follow button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me in the channel, as well as gain some additional supporter perks and benefits, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see featured on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play various games live, albeit intermittently, you can do so by following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.